conservatives have been running a very effective boycott against Bud Light after the whole Dylan Mulvaney situation. You guys obviously know about this by now, but Donald Trump Jr. apparently thinks that conservatives should not boycott Bud Light.
Anheuser-Busch totally shit the bed with this Dylan Mulvaney thing. I'm not, though, for destroying an American and iconic company for something like this. Trust me, the memes have been so good. I'm sitting there chomping at it, like I want it. But like when I actually look into it, I'm not going to blame the whole company for the inaction or the stupidity of someone in a marketing campaign that got woke as hell. The company itself doesn't participate in the same leftist nonsense as the other big conglomerates. Frankly, they don't participate in the same woke garbage that other people in the beer industry actually do, who are significantly worse offenders when I looked into it. But if they do this again, then it's on them. They've been put on notice. I'm leaving them alone. I think you should probably do the same. If they do it again, they've been warned.
Okay. So I obviously like Donald Trump Jr. This is nothing against him, but I'm sorry, I have to totally and wholly disagree with him on this. First off, I don't think it's true. To say that this was the op of one rogue marketing VP, do you really believe that? Does anyone really believe that? Surely a decision like that has to get approval from the top, I would think. And furthermore, perhaps if it were the case that, this was an accident, then why did they not go out and say that? Why did the CEO of Anheuser-Busch in his statement not go out and say, well, we didn't mean to do this. It was an accident. I don't know if that's true. Okay? Because I don't think that's what happened. But secondly is the logic of, oh, well, it should just be a warning. This is what he said secondly. He's like, well, first of all, he says, well, a lot of other beer companies are woke too, which on that front, I would say, okay, then I think it's perfectly fair. I'm sure Anheuser-Busch is not the only one. Let's have conversations about the other ones. I'm fine with that. But then even on that front, I would say, sure, they may be woke in some ways and doing this and that, but few things that these other companies have done have transparently spit in our face as badly as putting Dylan Mulvaney on the can of Bud Light, right? So it's not to excuse what other companies are doing, but objectively, I would say that this is kind of the worst transgression that we have seen. My bad. So there's that on that front. But secondly is the logic of, well, it should just be a warning, is what he says. If it's a warning, then, so if we don't boycott Bud Light, then how would it ever be a warning? You say, oh, let's teach them a lesson so that they don't do it again. If we don't boycott and stop buying Bud Light, why would they not do it again? I don't understand the logic there. It's just contradictory in my opinion. Actually, you need to boycott in order to send a message. Actually, this is not acceptable. Actually, you will not get away with this, okay? And you could make the argument, some people have said, well, the Bud Light actually donates a lot of money to the GOP. Okay, fine, good, I guess. But then on that front, okay, if they really are a patriotic conservative company at their core, then it's a complete betrayal of that trust to put Dylan Mulvaney on the can of Bud Light. So it's still wrong what they did. And they still need to be reprimanded for what they did. And, perhaps I could understand the anti-boycott argument if it weren't working. I could get that, right? Because oftentimes people will say, oh, these boycotts are stupid. They don't work. The companies are fine. I could see that argument. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. But objectively speaking, the Bud Light boycott has not been a waste of time, right? It's actually been very effective. You look at the net worth or the valuation of Bud Light. I think it's gone down like Anheuser-Busch, I should say. I think it's gone down $5 billion. I think that's the number, if I'm not mistaken there. So I could understand the perspective of saying, well, if a boycott is not going to be effective, then don't do it. It's a waste of time. You're just kind of virtue signaling. I get that. But this has been arguably the most effective conservative boycott that we have seen in recent memory. And I just I don't see the logic there. Again, I like Don Jr., but I don't see the logic there, right? Respectfully, I have to disagree because it's working. We're doing well. We're doing a good job. Why now should we let our foot off the gas? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Now, some people I'm sure are going to say, well, maybe these people are being paid by Anheuser-Busch and lobbyists or whatever. I'm not going to comment on that, okay? I'm not going to accuse anyone of anything, okay? I'm not accusing Donald Jr. of that. But so in good faith, I'm just going to say I don't understand the logic. I really don't. It's contradictory. Again, how can you even warn Bud Light if we're not boycotting, you know? Because if they got away with it, guess what? They're going to do it again and again. Now's our chance to send a message, and now we're doing a very good job of sending a message. And by the way, in the process of this, we're scaring a lot of other companies. That's the other part that needs to be talked about. Okay, Bud Light, whatever, goes under. Boo-hoo, but, you know, let's say that's what happens. If other companies in the market watch that happen, do you think they're going to be more or less likely to go woke? They're going to be less likely because they're going to say, oh, crap, you know, Bud Light crashed and burned, so maybe we should not do that, right? So again, if you want to send a warning, if you want to send a message to the market, how can you do that, Don Jr.? Honest question, by not boycotting Bud Light. It seems like the most obvious and clear solution on this front. So I don't know, but there's Don Jr. Again, respectfully, I have to disagree very strongly. And, you know, frankly, I don't care if Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch, at their core, they donate to the GOP. Yeah, well, then they should know better. They should know better. Do you know what this is right here? This is a can of Celsius. Celsius is an energy drink that destroys your liver. Do you know what does not destroy your liver, though? Leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, so be sure to do so, and be sure to check out the Vince Dao Show every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which likewise does not destroy your liver. Celsius, destroy liver. Liking and subscribing does not. Last I checked, I do the math. If you like and subscribe, you still have one functional liver. Can't say the same about the Celsius, so do that.